Lovely viewers, glad to have you on board. This is Somalia Premium #1 station for news and updates, Dalsan TV, coming to you live from Mogadishu. Welcome to our tonight's bulletin. We have quite a full bulletin prepared for you, but kindly have a look at some of our top stories. Somali Minister of Women and Human Rights Development Khadija Mohammed Diria dies in Djibouti. Somali Police Force marks 80th anniversary since its establishment. Chinese government donates $1 million for flood victims in Somalia. Somali Army and Galmudug forces liberate southern Mudug region. Tonight we commence our news bulletin on a sad note where the Somali federal government, Minister of Women and Human Rights Development Khadija Mohammed Diria has passed away in Djibouti city, Djibouti country. She was part of a government delegation led by Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre attending the Heritage Institute annual forum. The circumstances surrounding her death, rather sudden death, remain unknown. Here's the full story. The Somali federal government Minister of Women and Human Rights Development, Khadija Mohammed Dirie, has passed away in Djibouti city, Djibouti. She was part of a government delegation led by the Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre attending the Heritage Institute annual forum. The circumstances surrounding her sudden death remain unknown. However, Deputy Minister of the Ministry of Information, Abdurrahman Yusuf Al-Adala, said in a statement that Minister Khadija was admitted to a hospital in Djibouti city after developing an urgent medical condition where she underwent surgery. Unfortunately, she did not wake up from the coma. Khadija has been recently visiting regional federal member states to advance the interests of the Somali women and the vulnerable people in the community. Born on 2nd April 1964, Khadija, a mother of 5, received a public degree in 2014 from Hope University. From January 2014 to 2015, she served as the Minister of Women and Human Rights of Somalia. In March 2017, she was appointed the Minister of Youth and Sports in the former administration. Later, she moved to the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management. Until her death, she was a long-serving member of the Somali Federal Parliament. Dalsan Media Group, led by our able Executive Director Hassan Ali Gesi, conveys our most profound condolences to the family, friends, relatives, and the Somali people in the passing of the minister. May Allah grant her Jannatul Firdaus as our eternal abode. A heart-rendering and touching story. May Allah grant you Jannah as your abode. Now, the Somali Police Force today marked the 80th anniversary of its founding in a colorful, well-orchestrated ceremony happening in the capital Mogadishu and across several other towns in the country. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud presided over the ceremony at the General Kahia Academy. The president commended the police force for their relentless efforts to safeguard and protect the nation.
The Somali Police Force is today marking the 80th anniversary of its founding in a colourful and well-orchestrated ceremony happening in the capital Mogadishu and across several other towns in the country. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud is presiding over the ceremony at General Kahia Academy. A high-level delegation from the Ethiopian and Djibouti police forces are expected to also grace the event. Police Commissioner General Sulub Ahmed Firin has in a statement conveyed his congratulations to the Somali police officers ahead of the commemoration ceremony. He expressed gratitude to the officers for their unwavering commitment and determination to serve the members of the public. The Somali Police Force was established on 20th of December 1943 and was founded under Italian colonial rule.
The Chinese government, through its ambassador to Somalia on Tuesday, donated money to the Somali government and to alleviate the impacts of the humanitarian crisis unfolding in the country. Chinese ambassador to Somalia, Mr. Fei Shengchao, handed over $1 million to the Somali National Disaster Management Agency Commissioner Mahmoud Maalim at the agency's headquarters in the capital Mogadishu.
The Chinese government, through its ambassador to Somalia on Tuesday, donated money to Somali government to alleviate the impacts of the humanitarian crisis unfolding in the country. The Chinese ambassador to Somalia, Fei Sheng Chao, handed over $1 million to the Somali Disaster Management Agency SODMA Commissioner Mohammed Mualim at the agency's headquarters in the capital Mogadishu. The Chinese embassy in Mogadishu said that the money will be used to transport the relief efforts for the flood victims and facilitate the logistics and transportation of the food to areas worst hit.
In good times and bad times. I think this is because China itself is a natural disaster-prone country. The Chinese suffer from natural disasters, floods, earthquakes, locusts, droughts for thousands of years. Just last night, in northwestern part of China, a province of China was hit by serious earthquake. More than 100 lives were lost and thousands displaced. That's why we are sympathetic with our fellow Chinese back home, and at the same time we know that how badly one can feel when the natural disaster hits us. That's also why when the floods hit Somalia, China was the very first country this year to reach out to Somalia. As Commissioner said rightly, that China was always the first, but China will not be the last. This is already the fourth time this year for the Chinese government to reach out to Somalia in times of need. As we all know the long history of our friendship, a friend in need is a friend indeed. We'll continue to do that. And this time, I'm also very happy to stand here together with my brother, Commissioner Mualim, to announce that in addition to the $2 million of food aid pledged by the Chinese side and 1 million RMB yuan of cash grant already delivered to Somalia, the Chinese government has decided to provide an additional $1 million of cash grant in support of disaster relief in this country. And I hope that with Somali efforts and support from China and all other international partners, that the people in the affected areas will
iyadu ummadda Soomaaliyeed toosay u caawisaa la mid ma ahan qolooyinadan dhahayo intaasoo milyan aan ku bixinay laakiin meel ay ku baxsheen aanan araganaw laakiin waxoodu waxay toos u taabtaan dadka waxay maalin dhaw nagu wareejiyeen lacag ilaa 139,000 iyo 300 taas oo runtii wax ka tartay xaaladii aan u taagnayn waxa laga qaybiyay dadkii ay dhibaatadu ku dhacday ku soo qaxay magaalada Kismaayo ka yimiday dhulka shabaabka ay muddada 35 sano ay haysteen fatahaaduna ay saameysay waxa qaybtii kale lagu qaybinayaa oo maanta la jiraa magaalada Baardheere oo iyaduna saasoo karantada ogtiin dhibaatadii ka dhacday iyo boondooyin ku go'ay waxay mar kale ay na soo waceen shalay oo ay noo sheegeen inay haddana noo hayaan $1 milyan waxay kaloo runtii aad ogtiin inay soo wadaan alaab gaarayso ilaa $2 milyan.
Commissioner Mualim thanked the Chinese government for always standing with the Somali people during times of crisis, adding that they have been providing assistance to the Somali government in times of need. The ambassador on his part pledged the continued support by the Chinese government in helping the Somali people who have been severely impacted by the floods. This is not the first time that the Chinese government is delivering assistance to the government to mitigate the effects of the El Nino floods. In November, the Chinese embassy in Somalia provided about $140,000 to assist Somalis affected by the ongoing floods. SODMA has in recent days stepped up coordination of relief supplies to families ravaged by the flooding, with priority given to areas severely impacted by the natural calamity.
The Somali National Army, in collaboration with Galmudug forces, liberated several strategic areas in the southern Mudug region. The recent triumph comes as a result of meticulous planning and efforts by the Somali government and its allied forces in their commitment to eradicating the threat posed by the Al-Shabaab militants. The Somali National Army, in collaboration with Galmudug forces, liberated several strategic areas in the southern Mudug region. The joint forces encountered minimal resistance as extremist militants hastily abandoned their territory, yielding ground to the advancing troops. The recent triumph comes as a result of meticulous planning and efforts by the Somali government and its allied forces in their commitment to eradicating the threat posed by the Al-Shabaab. An official government statement declared by the towns of Dagadir and Dahar Ali Kailo as among the areas reclaimed from the grip of the notorious group. The liberation of Dagadir and Dahar Ali Kailo signifies a significant milestone in the ongoing campaign to rid Somalia of Al-Shabaab's presence. These towns long served as a strategic stronghold for the militants, enabling them to launch devastating attacks and maintain foothold in the region. As the Somali National Army and its allies press forward in their mission to secure the nation, the recent gains in the southern Mudug region serve as a powerful testament to the resilience and determination of the Somali people. Lovely viewers, a story from Galmudug and the Somali National Army Forces brings us to the end of our bulletin. That's all we are prepared for you tonight. From our desk in Mogadishu, I wish to thank my team that made this news edition a success, and you are a lively viewer wherever you're watching us from. Always stay blessed and kindly stay put for more stories in our subsequent bulletins. To our lovely late Minister Khadija Diriye, we say may Allah grant you Jannah and may Allah forgive your sins. Stay blessed.